Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
How's it going?
It is going good.
So before we started
Beautiful.
recording today, we're just figuring out our show notes and stuff like that and figure out what we're talking about. And you brought up a topic and you wanted to talk about equilibrium and you started telling me. And as I'm looking at you and I'm like, you know what, save it because I have no idea what you're talking about. So I'm just going to act confused as we talk because I am confused a little bit. So let's go ahead and start the show. God.
Oh, boy.
No.
Hello, friends.
No.
Hello, friends.
It's always something.
Hello, friends.
It's always something. There's always something going wrong.
I should just start singing it live. We should just have like a little band here every day to play.
Listen, man,
for us,
I'm doing
like a Broadway show.
I'm sure someone who's much more understanding. I can't find my cursor. Understanding that's better equipped to this. I'm doing the best I can. So
You're awesome, babe. There's something.
Hello, friends.
welcome to the couple shift.
I'm Maria Leandra,
And I'm Jules.
and we are a husband and wife team on a mission to
Terrible.
shift the way we live our lives and co-create what really matters.
We don't always agree, but together we're figuring it out.
We are
Thank you
figuring
for
it
joining
out.
us. We're so glad you're here.
I'm always figuring it out. There's always something going on.
Always figuring it out. My lashes. I mean, not my lashes.
lashes?
My eyebrows look cray-cray. Fun fact.
I don't see it.
I decided to stop plucking my eyebrows in March of 2020, and I'm never looking back.
You're never looking back.
Do you have an issue with my eyebrows?
No, I don't. So I just was like, okay, fine.
I kind of love my al natural eyebrows.
I don't have a problem with them. I never noticed the difference. So.
Great. Great.
I think women do a lot of things for themselves, thinking that their husbands or their significant others will notice. And
Yeah.
we really don't.
Except when I didn't shave my armpits.
That's different.
But, I mean, you could also say the same thing. Or other areas.
I mean, okay.
Keep it PG, people. Keep it Hey, listen, the couple shift involves all the couple things. So
It's PG-13. Let's get
It's PG-13.
Let's get it straight.
So, okay. So first,
So you want to get into this about this?
Well-
What's with this equilibrium thing? Can you explain
do you want
that
to
to
get
me?
into that first?
Yeah, go ahead. We'll get into
Okay.
Skylers and all that stuff later.
Hi. Okay, so I was musing and pondering as I was doing some dishes and looking outside our
Hold on,
window
I love this. I was musing and pondering as I
into
was doing dishes.
into our little backyard, which I love so much. I love that window. That window is magic. Okay, so I'm pondering and musing, and I'm thinking about, my deep philosophical thoughts.
By the way, that's the title of this episode, Pondering and Musing. Okay?
Okay, good. And I'm thinking about how yesterday, the early part of the day was like, from my perspective of my own feelings, like pretty good. And yesterday afternoon, I took a turn where I got this, like, a lot of anxiety. I ended up taking a nap in the afternoon. Thank you, babe, for, keeping the kiddo busy so I could take a nap and kind of regroup because I also had a hard time sleeping the night before, falling asleep last night. There's just a lot, and I usually sleep pretty well. So, but then today I'm feeling a sense of a lot of effervescence and a lot of clarity and joy and, and I was like, wow, like, in a moment, our emotions change. And I think the key to self-mastery is being willing to embrace all of the things and just be with all the things and not resist. Because human beings, I find, are either in two modes, maybe three modes. One, we are looking forward to something that's not here that we're thinking about. Two, we're resisting something that is here and we don't want to deal with it, so we resist it. Or three, very briefly, like a small percentage of time, we're actually in the present moment, actually in a space of joy and contentment around like, okay. And so I think because we're in those three modes, imagine like being in a car and shifting gears all the time versus finding the cruise control, like the cruise control of the sort of equilibrium of you're willing to, like you're just with whatever is coming. And that in itself causes less pain, which is a Buddhist principle in terms of being detached, the idea of being detached and being receptive to everything that's happening, not resisting. So I was just pondering that to me. And because you and I are going through a it's like a hyper intense, hyper focused. It's almost like they cranked up our life to like click, 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 click. Like we are facing this hyper reality that most people aren't facing, and we certainly didn't experience before.
Right.
So in your default mode, in your like human default mode, I don't think you realize just how it's like we have this new filter through which to look, or had a filter removed, like something has been removed, so we look at things in a different way. And it's almost like this experiment of, this is like the human condition under like this very, very intense pressure. And what happens with all the feelings that we're managing, because we're not moving through quote unquote normal, quote unquote ordinary feelings day by day. This is completely out of the ordinary. How you're feeling, how I'm feeling, what you're experiencing in your body, the transitions you're having, like, you know what I mean? So I'll leave it there for your thoughts. Put the camera on you. I want to see your face.
That's a lot.
Qué guapo.
That's a lot. I was going to say, you were saying that yesterday you were feeling bad, which, you know, and you took a nap and the anxiety levels when we talked and things like that. And then today you woke up and you feel, but do you necessarily, like, what was the linchpin for that change of
yesterday?
No, today.
Or today?
To feel from yesterday afternoon and night, and even to going to bed because you were struggling to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I felt, even though I felt like we had a moment there where you talked to me and we
yeah, you were very helpful, very supportive as usual.
Right.
Well, as usual. Come on.
No, you said it too late. It happened.
No. But you're very good in those moments when you're listening and you're receptive to where I am. You're very good at like walking me off the
ledge,
invisible ledge. Yeah.
But this morning, I don't know if it was just us waking up or was it the butterflies.
I was gonna say.
So we had these little butterflies. We had these little butterflies.
We are grandparents.
We are. Wait, that means Skyler had the butterflies.
Skyler had he did have the butterflies. They're his butterflies.
So yeah.
Skyler's a father. We are grandparents. Look how good we look for grandparents.
All right.
Damn.
Yeah. No. You had purchased some caterpillars.
That sounds weird. Purchased.
Adopted
with a monetary
transaction. You purchased them on Amazon.
They came in. Here's the thing. I had this butterfly. It's like a kit that you buy, and I'd gotten this a few, like at least 3 years ago. It had been in the closet sitting there, and I was like, one day
I will get the butterflies.
But Skyler was still too young to fully appreciate them. And then after, when we were cleaning out the closet to move over here, I was like, aha, because there were so many times when I was so close to gifting that to Goodwill or just passing it along to somebody else.
Yeah, it had been sitting
but
in there
I held
for a while.
on because I wanted those butterflies. And anyway, so when you buy that thing, it comes with a coupon to redeem a little tub of caterpillars.
Yeah.
And so they came in 5 little caterpillars. And it's really beautiful, something really beautiful to do with your kids.
Just to see the metamorphosis and the change and whatever. So today,
yes,
they erupted.
Yes.
And they were...
Yeah, so we have 3.
3 right now.
There are
maybe
5 caterpillars.
Yeah, usually it's like 4 out of the 5 may make it.
Yeah. One of the other ones for sure is going to make it. It was the tiny one that took the longest to get into the caterpillar.
But one of them looks like it's not going to make it. But the point is, the point is, you saw that and your whole mood changed. And I find that interesting. I find that more important. It's not, you need butterflies, people. No, I think it's more, you have to look for these things. Yes. You have to look for these moments. You have to, you really, it could be something as dumb as, yes, there's still one Diet Coke left in the fridge.
Say it for the people in the back.
What?
Say, like this is important.
No, but yes, but seriously.
Not the Diet Coke, but the
I was like, that's what I was like. The point being is
finding the moments.
Finding the moment that you can use to change your
Sorry,
soul.
I don't have it. One day we'll have a producer.
One day you have a watch that lets you go block incoming.
One day.
Oh, wait a second.
Only.
If only you would wear it.
Only.
She doesn't wear her damn watch.
And I love it. I would look really good with this outfit right now.
I love it. I just don't wear it.
Okay.
You punk.
Moving on.
And yes, you are a punk, even though Skyler says you're not. He's always defending you. Right. It's about looking for those moments. It was butterflies for you today. That it was like, oh my God. But there are many times, there are many things that you can just stop. Even though I feel like in those moments where, I'm not saying it's easy because I deal with it every day. Just getting started to record today, just getting all this stuff set up, me trying to write something on the keyboard. I barely can type anymore. It's such a struggle. It's annoying. I press like 6 different keys as I'm writing. Frustrating.
Everything.
But everything is frustrating. Everything is frustrating to do. There's no hiding that. There's no pretending. You know, going back quickly, I post that golf post that I did. And the response that I got from people and I was just I was appreciative, very appreciative and amazed of what people had responded to.
Yeah.
For it because I found like positivity out of it.
Yeah. So how do you feel? Because in the last episode we talked about your sort of moment of like thinking, should I post this or not? We talked about it then. Now that you're on the other side, how do you feel?
No, I'm glad I did. And I'd like to continue to do more with your help, of course, you know, because she's the writer. I actually, I said it.
Yeah, no, you're the writer. I'm just the what's the word I'm talking about?
You're the dictator. You're not the dictator.
The dictator.
Well, no.
I am the stenographer.
Stenographer. You're the. My wife is the stenographer of our lives.
I take dictation.
Yes.
And also, I take dictation of whatever you're saying, and then I'll add just, you know.
And she'll correct my grammar.
I'll correct the grammar, but I'm very true to like what you say. I'm not embellishing, but I just, you know.
But I have to be honest. I mean, like, it's hard for me to type. It's hard for me to write. Most of the time when I text people or if I write something, it's either very, very short or I use the keyboard. Like there's a method on my phone that lets you like, it's called slide typing where you just swipe your hand over it, which seems to be easier for me. And sometimes it works pretty good, but a lot of times it can get frustrating where it's like, I didn't want to say that word and it just can't get it, especially if it's a long word. It just comes up with some random words.
And tell us about your experience with recording messages on text, because you're kind of like on the fence about it.
I'm on the fence about it because it's I think it's more of me. I don't have what I want to say set up and then I say it. So it's coming off the cuff. It's coming right out as I'm thinking it and I'm spitting it out at the same time, which has gotten me in trouble with you many times.
Thinking and spitting.
Thinking and spitting, basically. So, yes. Does it work? Does it make things a lot easier at times? Yeah. Absolutely.
And I'm sure there's certain people you feel more comfortable, obviously, with me and, you know, your family and stuff. But
and then there's also some times I'm like, I just can't type, but I want to get this out, and I'll just do it. Yeah. So it's, yes.
So everything is hard.
Everything is hard. But we have to find those moments that like you said, get us back to that equilibrium. It's almost like our gyroscope. You know, a gyroscope is to keep us level, even when we're going through stuff, even when we're going through rough seas. It tries to balance ourselves out. You know, and it's about finding that. And for you today, I felt like the spark was seeing those butterflies.
Yeah.
Because if it weren't there, it's not saying that you wouldn't have been happy. I'm not saying that butterflies dictated what you're feeling right now.
No, but you said it, the spark, it like ignited something new.
It would have been like you would have probably saw a bird or something, and it's a nice sunny day today, whatever. Yeah. And you would have been like, oh, what a pretty day, oh, whatever. And all of a sudden, that's enough to get you to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You know what else this reminds me of? Again, sparking something, and it's a really good idea for everybody to think about how you can change something about your routine or change something about how you do things. I remember back in the day when I would drive every day to work, of course you take the same way every day. And on the odd occasion that I would take a different route, whether it's because I would go to grab like maybe breakfast for the team or grab a coffee or something. And again, this was odd. I would feel this sense of like, again, this effervescence of like, oh my gosh. And all I did was take a different route to work. But that was enough to spark my system to be like that gyroscope thing.
You had different stimulus.
Yeah.
You had
it's like,
something that stimulates.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I would get to work and I would have like a different pep in my step. And I was like, wow, like that is so powerful just to shift. And again, it goes back to our mindset. It goes back to the importance of living intentionally, because living intentionally means I'm not just letting life like sweep me. I am very intentional with like interacting with my life. And it's very fluid and very organic. It doesn't mean you're controlling your life, quite the opposite, but you're actually like, okay, you're in it. You're in your day and you're mindful of what could be the thing that might spark something, some shift in me, whether it's butterflies being born or, oh my God, there's a last little Diet Coke can. It's super chill in the back of the fridge. And you're like, yes.
Well, and this day could have totally gone different because my morning after leaving here it has not worked out well. So I was supposed to have occupational therapy, and we're going to talk about that because I finally got it. I finally started getting.
We talked about that last time.
I know, but I want to talk a little. Did we talk about my frustrations with it?
I think so.
We did? Okay, whatever, fine.
But you can talk about it again.
No, it's okay.
Please.
I don't
This
remember.
is your podcast. I'm just a player in
You're
it.
just a vessel?
A vessel.
No, joking.
A vessel. Let me think about that. I'm a vessel of knowledge.
No, a vessel is
I'm
a way to transport the message.
Oh, yeah.
You are my
I am
vessel.
a channel.
You are my channel. There you go. So I'm heading over there, and the traffic is literally like a parking lot.
Yeah.
So
No, when I texted you, fully thinking, I texted him a picture of Nova, who was staring out the door.
You were
it was
thinking
at
I was already in OT.
10:15. I was like, oh, he'll get back to me whenever he gets out.
Right.
He'll see this and he'll think it's adorable. And then he replies back right away, LOL. And I was like, oh boy. He's either sitting there waiting or sitting in traffic at a light or something, because I know you wouldn't respond while you're driving.
No.
So
it ended up being I was just stuck in massive, massive traffic with a bunch of people that are being, I gotta be first in line, cutting people off. That frustration that always gets to me.
People, we're in the age of Aquarius. Things have got to change. We got to work together. Harmony.
Anyways, I am trying to get there, and here's my frustration: is like I said last week, is that OT hasn't been what I expected it was gonna be, which I guess that's kind of my fault in the sense of
why would you say it's your fault? This is
because maybe I put too much into it.
But you still don't have to have a blame energy around it.
Okay, fine. I don't blame myself, but I think at the same time I'm not blaming myself, but I think I set myself up to thinking it was going to be more.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did too. I mean, same. We were.
So
the thing is too, we were
it's a
looking
combination of
forward
things.
to this because it was one of those like, oh my God, we can't get an OT, and this is such a. And then it happened, and then the experience has been less than thrilling.
It's been less than thrilling. So
and we're like, oh
yeah.
So I have a feeling today you were kind of happy this happened.
No.
I think you manifested it.
I don't. No, because
you are responsible for everything that happens.
Right. I understand what you're saying, but I wanted to go. I definitely wanted to go.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like when I was leaving here, I'm like, I gotta go to OT.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever.
No, I
Let's
know.
just see. I just want to, I was going there I've been open to see if things can get better with it. And I think it's just a chemistry between the OT and me. It's not there. And which I have with the physical therapist.
Yeah, and it's such an intimate
it's frustrating.
experience.
It is,
too.
especially
It's
a
the
frustrating
chemistry
experience.
really is important.
So
and it may develop.
Maybe I don't think so.
It's so funny because sometimes you have like a super open mind about it, and then sometimes it's like, no, I don't think so.
Okay,
but
for those
you know
of
what? You're very intuitive, and so I trust your spidey senses.
I was gonna say, I mean, like I'm pretty intuitive on these things, and I don't think it's gonna get.
Did you just call yourself intuitive?
Can I finish before you interrupt me one more time?
It's just,
So I don't think it's gonna be ever great, and it's just a thing. It's a Miami thing, man. I like in the sense of I like my PTs because they're from DC and they're from other places. I'm going there.
You're digging yourself in a hole, but
I'm not digging myself in a hole.
Go for it.
I'm not digging myself in a hole. It's those people that went to your. I want you to pretend for a second that you're in high school. You go back and you think about high school, and you think about the people that annoyed you in high school. Just think about it for a second, okay? You're there. Close your eyes. And you could have been the it group, or you could have been the nerds, or you could have been the jocks, or you could have been the goth kids, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. There's somebody, because let's face it, we're not going to get along with everybody in the world.
No way.
Never. And especially in a school, right? So there are those kids, there are those people that you just get like so frustrated with and annoyed with that you went to high school with. You're like, oh, this guy or this girl or whatever. This guy is basically those guys. That's all I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason, and it's not his fault. It really isn't. It's just who he is.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't jive with that.
Yeah.
I don't. And it's frustrating. My PT, my physical therapist, both of them are not from Miami. Not saying that they could have easily been the same kind of person. They could have been
Mm-hmm.
in their own, but it's a cultural thing, I think, too.
Yeah.
But it's the interactions that I have with them. And that could have been because we've developed a relationship because I've been seeing them for 6-7 months, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, even to the first awkward meetings,
Mm-hmm.
it was like, okay, we're just trying to get to know each other, trying to feel
Yeah.
each other out, that kind of deal.
Yeah, it's very different.
It's very different. It's very different. So, no offense to him, it's just I don't jive with that.
Yeah.
It's not working, and that's why. So I'm already going into it today, and I get stuck in nasty trap. I'm literally a mile away from the damn freaking hospital. I call him. I'm like, I can't go. It's going to take me another 10 minutes to get there. Then walking to get in. Then they have a whole entire procedure because of COVID. It's such a stupid procedure. It really is, guys. They literally, you have to call in and be like, do you have any symptoms? No. Have you been in contact with anybody that's tested positive, or do you know of? I'm like, I don't know, not that I know of, or whatever. And then they're like, okay, check mark. They go check a temperature, and then you go in. I understand why they do it, but it's just one of those things. You're just like, okay, but you have to do it, especially for people, because people sometimes will just be like, oh, I got PT, and they're coughing up a storm and they're sneezing, and
it's like every day to take Skyler to school. There's a questionnaire that
so
we get to
I
answer.
understand it, but it's just like I have to go through that procedure instead of just walking into the hospital. So what I'm saying is today I'm already running late. By the time I get in, by the time I go into the parking, by the time I go through the checkpoints, my OT would have been over. So I was like, I gotta cancel this.
Yeah.
But I feel that because I feel like the way you started, my spark was not necessarily the butterflies, but to see you, feeling good, feeling happy, or feeling better than what you felt yesterday. I was like, frustrated with that moment, but I didn't bring it home.
Yeah.
I came home and I'm like, whatever. And
Yeah.
I already have, my mentality is right now that I was like, oh, there's some things I want to do. I got the energy to do it. We're trying to change up our patterns in the morning. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for the day, even though I missed out on something that usually I'm hoping to look forward to in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
find that spark. Okay, so let's get into what I just had delayed about, which was the morning pattern. Last night, I watched a YouTube video. I know that sounds stupid. It's like, oh, what informational thing it is, but it's backed up by scientific studies, and it was
There's
like
a lot of great stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that YouTube's bad. I'm just saying, you can't just believe everything you see.
Yeah.
There's got to be data behind it. Especially now, what I've seen, people, everybody's obsessed with memes, right? Everybody's obsessed with memes, the Bernie memes, which are hilarious. It's great.
I bought a sticker, by the way.
You bought a
Yeah,
nice.
they have this. They first had a sweatshirt, then
Yeah,
they had
the
a
sweater.
t-shirt,
Yeah,
and I was like, oh my god, I want
He's
one.
so
I want
smart.
one.
He's so
and
smart.
then he came out with a sticker that you can pay any amount, and everything is going to Vermont
The
charities
Meals on
or
Wheels
Meals
or
on
what-
like
yeah.
yeah.
It's great.
And
It's great.
I was like, oh my gosh, so I send them $8.
It's his
and
likeness. He should get some money from it, and
And
not,
they
he's not doing it for a profit. He's doing it for.
It's super brilliant.
It's
And
great.
the fact that the sticker was like pay any amount, there are people paying like
Oh, yeah.
$100, and because it just feels good.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to put that sticker on my water bottle.
Yeah, I've always felt better when I give something than receiving something.
Yeah.
I've always liked
Yeah.
that.
So I sent $8, which could have been more, but
Yeah, that's great. So the problem, though, what I was saying is that people communicate with memes now.
yeah.
With everything. But like, not just funny, jokey, is that you see these memes talking about actual news stories.
This is kind of like, it just gave me a vibe of like Egypt and hieroglyphs. Like when you fast forward, my thoughts. Like fast forward a couple hundred years from this point on, Those are kind of like that.
Maybe 1,000.
Maybe 1,000. So I can fast forward. These are the communication devices. These are the hieroglyphs of our time.
But
I don't know. I just had a moment of like, ooh.
But the biggest difference though is since everything is stored and saved nowadays, that I feel like
they put it on freaking stone.
I know they put it on stone.
That's why we can see it today.
That's why we can see it today. But we have everything like digital that it's going to be so overwhelming amounts of
remind
data.
Me, I want to say something about that.
Okay. But let me get back to you. Keep this.
Well, we have a lot of things to talk about.
I know. I just feel like we're having an ADHD conversation here where we're just jumping from different topics.
Wait, let me just wrap up this here on social media because then I'm gonna derail the train.
You what?
Again.
You what?
Derail the train.
No, before you said that, you're gonna wrap up what?
No, the social media thing that I wanted to say.
Okay, go.
I had a note here about it.
Go.
So this thing about, like you said, that things are kept in perpetuity. So I have a friend who's applying for a job, and in the process, she's looking back at her history of social media and cleaning things up. So we were chatting about it, three of us, over the weekend. And my other friend said, there's no way you can purge 10 plus years of social media. And I was like, oh my God, you should put that on a t-shirt. Mind you, the three of us are very tame. There's nothing in there that could ever incriminate us because we're good people and we're never, never the black sheeps of the family. But there's certain things that you're like, okay, maybe a comment you made here, maybe something, whether it was political statement or things like that. Anyway, because I was telling her, I was like, don't focus so much. Don't put so much of your energy on the erasing. Put your energy on creation, on calling in the job. Like, yes, I'm all for cleaning things up. But what you said about things are stored forever. Yeah. And then it's like my other friend said, there's no way you can purge 10 plus years of social media. And I thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
I was like, you should put that on a shirt.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's just like almost like par for the course right now in our day and age. So
yeah, unfortunately, in the sense of nothing.
Yeah, like it's there. Even if
you
erase
disappears.
it, it's like, guess
nothing,
what?
Nothing
we really want to
disappears.
find it. It's there.
Yeah. So.
Okay, back to. This is me putting the train back on the rails.
So you're putting it back on the rails. Can you get me back on? Because I just forgot.
Choo choo. The YouTube video, morning routines.
I know, but there was okay.
What?
I thought there was something else after. That's fine.
No.
Yes. Yeah. That's fine. So I was watching the video. Oh, I know what I was saying. Yes, the morning routines. The memes, but people use memes as also to discuss things that are happening in the news now.
Yeah.
And I almost feel like, because I've gotten this I have friends on both the left and the right-hand side of viewing of politics, right? And both of them respond in those same ways. And I feel like both of them, it's almost like we've gotten to a point where it was, you have 30 seconds to explain something. Mm-hmm. So you better make sure you put it in an article, just like the first couple sentences, to catch somebody, right? Mm-hmm. To get them to grasp them. And then it was like, oh, we just need to make sure the titles is going to get you, even though it's misleading. Mm-hmm. Now I feel like it's even in memes, it's even in pictures of stuff, and it's so frustrating because it's like, dude, you're and then the thing is, maybe when it first was created, it's funny because that person heard what was going on and they interpreted it in their own way. But when it gets passed on to people and spread it around the internet, it's almost like, oh, but that's what it said, and that's what it is, and that's factual. And that's like kind of frustrating to me because there's no backing of it or information of it or whatever. You know what I mean? Now, that was just a rant. Sorry. Going back to what I was saying on the YouTube video, which was backed by scientific studies about the 5 things you do wrong in the morning.
Scientifical
is a bad word?
Scientific.
I did say scientific. There you go. That's why you're my stenographer and grammar police.
I don't like stenographer. What can I have a better? Nothing against
dictator.
Stenographers. But need a better word. Nothing against stenographers, but
a little bit against dictators.
Rather not be a stenographer.
Fine.
A little bit against dictators. A little bit, yes.
Just a little.
Not pro-dictators.
Not pro-dictators. Oh, look, I lowered my chair. Now you're taller than me. I had to so the armrest doesn't hit the table anymore. Anyways, it talked about the 5 things that we're doing wrong in the mornings. And I'm not going to go into each of ones, but I think there's 2 of them that were like, oh, crap.
Wow.
This may answer a lot of questions for us and why we go through what we go through. So the first one may not be a surprise, but The snooze button is the worst button, the worst thing you can do in the mornings. The worst. And the explanation was there's chemicals in your body, and when you go to sleep, when you go to bed at night, that almost activate so you can be like, your body's like telling itself, all right, we're going to bed. It's not going to be for 20 minutes. It's going to be a prolonged period of time. I forgot what the chemicals were. Doesn't matter. Point being, oh boy, we hear the rumblings of our son who's not in school today.
Probably going to the bathroom.
Oh, no, he's opened the door.
No.
¿Qué pasó? Oh, boy. To the what table? Sorry, guys. He just found a piece of glass.
No, it's plastic.
Oh, plastic.
It's a
Okay,
little
good.
piece of plastic.
Okay.
No,
I was like, we have a problem. We'll be right back. No. We'll pause this show and come back. No. Papito. Oh, and the dog. Everybody's here. They can't see. But it's all right. So let me just finish what I was saying. Look at Nova. The dog wants the attention all the time. So those chemicals activate. So your body's like, all right, we're going to bed. We're going to sleep. Mm-hmm. In the morning, when you hit the snooze button and you go back, I just want 5 more minutes. It's just going to give me the energy. Exactly. What ends up happening is that those chemicals reactivate in a sense in your body thinking, all right, we're going back to bed. And so when you finally get up, it's going to take you sometimes up to
say the difference. First say like under normal circumstances.
Under normal circumstances, if you just wake up, no snooze, you just wake up, you're probably groggy for about 30 minutes on average.
Yeah.
That's what it's stated. I guess that's what the studies showed. But if you hit the snooze button, go back to sleep, and then wake up 5 minutes later, you're groggy for 4 hours.
Yowza.
Which I was like, well, that makes a lot of sense.
That blew my mind.
Because
I was like, wait a minute. This is very compelling evidence.
So I was... Seriously. So then...
Because I love me a snooze button.
You definitely love a snooze button for sure.
And of course, I've heard many, many a times. I don't need to hear again. It's no surprise that the snooze button is not our friend.
Yeah, it's
yet,
definitely not.
Last night when you gave me this piece, I was like, oh. It's one of those things that just finally clicks for you that you're like, oh, shoot.
So then the other one, which I wanted to say, which is also very important, and also we've been totally screwing up, is do not drink coffee between the hours of 8 a.m. and 9 a.m., 12 and 1, 5:30 and 6:30, around that time, basically. Mm-hmm. And the reason for this, and this has been studied where they've actually tested if you go on a flight and, change time zones and everything. I don't know how your body does it, but it does it. Those are the period of times where your body is in like production of what is it? Cytosol? Cortisol.
What is cytosol?
I think it's a medicine.
Oh.
Cortisol. And what ends up happening is if you drink coffee at that time, the caffeine's really not going to affect you. You're not going to feel the effects of the caffeine, meaning the thing that you're drinking it for the most part, besides the taste, is, to wake up, to get energized. So they say avoid those times. Plus, it also will make you drink more because you're not getting...
And it spikes your cortisol level at that time while it's being produced in the body.
Right.
So, which is not good.
All stuff about inflammation, things like that. So, there was a couple other things that were pretty interesting too on there. But those two, I felt like really stood out. Like, oh...
Yeah.
We totally do that. The other one was like, don't look at your phone when you wake up, blah, 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 stuff like that.
Very compelling.
Very, very, simple things. But those two are like, all right, we got to try it. Do you feel, I know it's only one day, but do you feel a difference?
Well, I had my butterflies born this morning.
You had your butterflies born. But yeah, so there's a lot of factors, obviously. We got to give it some time.
We got to give it some time.
But I'll tell you this, at least me, I definitely do feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
Having said that, I still had 2 cups of coffee.
Here's what I will say, though. I think the reason why you feel a shift is because you typically wake up in the morning and it takes you a little bit to get your motor going. Meaning you wake up and you wake up. But then you stay in bed. I bring your coffee in bed, and you check
and more so than ever before.
Something right, and understandable. You get to really allow your body to rest and heal. And I know
one of the things that's hardest for me,
because you want to spring out of bed and do all the things.
My body doesn't respond to my brain as much anymore because I wake up, and for those who are experiencing ALS, they may experience some of the things that I have experienced, where it's like the hardest thing to get, especially early on, right? It's the hardest thing to get up.
Yeah.
You try to stretch and you might get a spasm. I get spasms in my legs all the time, and they are excruciating.
Yeah.
I've said it before. They are the worst. It's like someone's just constantly pulling and twisting your muscles, and it's super painful. And it's the worst when you wake up and you're like, I can't move my leg or my calf or my arm or whatever. Most of the times my legs. But it happens everywhere. It's that's hard to be like, all right, now I'm going to get up and seize the day.
Totally.
You know?
But
It's
I
like,
think today, because you had this OT thing in the morning, you got up and you started to get ready. And also because we wanted to make sure we're aligning our times, right? So that I can always support you with the things that you need help with.
Right. Skyler didn't go to school today, but if she had taken him to school.
Right. Our timing doesn't match up in the morning.
It doesn't match up
for me to help him get ready.
Yeah, I need help to get.
And so
dressed.
Today you had this
As
sort
you
of
can see for those who are watching my shoulder thing, putting on my shirt, my
shirt, pants, socks,
my belt, socks, the shoes is one of the hardest things. I gotta get new shoes.
Yeah.
It's just hard. We need to align ourselves on that.
Yeah. So that's part of what we're also working with, right? Is how do we stay very communicated and connected? It's really like we are like one organism that has to move. It's like a school of fish or something that become like one organism, and we've got to move through, or a colony of birds.
Oh, we're one organism. Of course you want to be one organism. You just want to be molded. You want us to
No, not all the time.
Together. She always says that.
Look at the camera. It looks funny.
She wants to be vacuum sealed to me. So what's the difference?
To you. No, but this is different.
I know, I'm messing with you.
But yes, but it really feels like but it's not one organism because we are still individuals.
Symbiosis. How about that?
It is really I guess it's like the remora and the shark. Why do I get to be the remora and the stenographer?
The shark gets nothing from the remora. The remora just right. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
The remora gets it all.
It gets it all. It's a.
Okay, then it's not that. That's
it doesn't.
Not a good
it's not
example.
A parasite, because a parasite is where you harm
it's actually
the host.
harming the host. Yeah.
Right. It's a different. It's mutualism.
It's a freeloader.
It's a freeloader. It basically is a free.
So it's not that.
Yeah.
But it is like a school of fish, or a colony of birds that are flying together.
And synchronization.
Yeah, that we
so
have
that's a very
to move.
Different thing. Yeah,
we have to move with each other.
That's more like it. Yeah, it's
right?
a synchronization.
It's individuals, but we got to move with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So we are being more and more mindful. We have been, and a lot of it just feels very I don't want to say automatic, but because we're so I don't know. I always say it's like we're dancing.
Yeah.
And we have a choreographer that's giving us different steps. And we have to shift and move and adapt to the steps that we're getting as we go. But it's like a dance, right? So we're moving as a unit, but we're two individuals.
Right.
So not the remora and the
shark.
shark.
I mean, that's like me just freeloading.
No, I said I was the remora.
Or you were the freeloader.
Shark, but no, clearly I'm not freeloading.
No. So... to end this show, I want to talk about the Skyler-isms that we've been experiencing this
we have
past
a
couple days that are freaking hilarious. So you had, you go ahead and
January 24th, 2021, Skyler said the following. He was upset at his father, and he said, "You are a soggy little waffle." And I said, that is going down as the best insult I have ever heard in my life.
I'm a soggy waffle.
You are a soggy little waffle.
Hey there, buddy.
Can we please get the t-shirt?
Soggy
or
waffle.
Or a sticker. Ooh, sticker meal sticker.
Well, we got to make the caca
You are
pipi.
a soggy little waffle.
Yes.
Skyler.
We got to make the caca pipi poo poo peo.
And the caca pipi. And the caca pipi poo poo peo shirt. Speaking of which, the second Skyler-ism that we have for you today is when I asked him, because he always says he likes to make people happy. And he says, yeah, mommy, always. And so I said, the other day we called him Captain Happy or something like that. And I say, oh, are you Captain Happy? He goes, yeah, I'm Captain Happy.
And didn't I say he was Captain Underpants?
And then, yes,
right now
he's always
in
his underpants.
He's always in his underpants.
And then he says to Jules, he says, and you are Captain Poo Poo, and mommy is Captain Love. Captain Poo Poo, Captain Love, and Captain Happy. So I thought that was pretty appropriate.
But when you were napping, he actually was, I guess maybe he's like, well, I got to deal with this guy. So he was quite nice to me and cuddly. We were watching. It may not be, it's not appropriate for him yet, but I'm like, hey.
Listen,
YOLO.
we got to YOLO it.
Okay. We were watching Godzilla King of Monsters because he saw the trailer with Godzilla versus Kong and he was like, oh. And
I don't think it's not appropriate. It just might be like, it's very like.
I mean, it's a PG-13,
it's like,
so
whoa.
there's a,
it's like causes a big impression.
A big impression, a little bit of language
but
sometimes. It's intense, but I don't think
it's
it's
not
that
particularly violent.
Well, I mean,
Well,
it is in a
these are
grandiose
imaginary
scale.
things.
Exactly.
I think there's a difference.
Yeah.
It's just more like.
Who wasn't 4 years old and had Legos and decided to walk over them?
It's
basically doing
exactly
that. So he was just like,
yes,
wow.
I wish
Look
they
at all
had
these.
they had made that movie
Right,
more
Pablo?
PG. I think because those movies, I think those movies are really nice to share as a. That sounds weird.
Hold on. Let's get him on the mic.
Bobby.
Go.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Say to them.
Say it.
Bobby, say to them. Those are giants.
Those are giant. They're titans, right?
Yeah, titans.
What's your favorite Titan?
All of them.
All of them?
Yeah.
There's not one that really stood out for you? The biggest one?
Huh?
Godzilla. You don't like Godzilla?
No.
You like them all?
No, I like them all. I like Godzilla and all them.
Okay.
Equal opportunity. Titan
lover.
Lover.
There you go. So, anyways, as usual, guys, is there any other quotes you wanted to add on there?
No, that was good. That was
That
good.
was-
We'll say
that was
yeah.
good.
We'll keep collecting them.
Absolutely. This
Oh,
guy's a treasure
I
trove.
think we need some merch.
Yes.
That You Are a Soggy Little Waffle sticker is coming. Watch.
Yes. As usual, rate and review and subscribe, people. I love you,
Yes,
honey.
I love you, my dear. Mwah. Bye, everybody.
See ya.